Alright chat, so imagine you paid $3,000 just to risk dying for fun. Yep, it's real. It's called skydiving, and it's one of the dumbest hobbies that I've seen people do. But if you think that's bad, wait till you hear about the rest of the hobbies included on this list. Trust me, the further we go, the deadlier and the dumber it gets. It's amazing. Without further ado though, let's open up this can of worms. Alright chat, so you read that right? Today we're going over a list of the most deadly hobbies that exist. Which, quick question, why the f are these considered hobbies? Last time I checked, and I quote, "A hobby is an activity pursued for enjoyment and relaxation." Code word, enjoyment and relaxation. Now tell me, what does skydiving have to do with relaxation, bro? Ain't that quite literally the opposite? Hey, talking about skydiving though, that's the first on the list. Skydiving. The only time someone would pay $3,000 to jump out of a perfectly working plane and risk dying for fun. Of course. And you know, before everybody starts, I get the whole, "Oh my god, but the view." Listen bro, I could get the same view using a drone I bought for 30 bucks. And you wanna know the best part? I'm not 15,000 feet in the air, relying on a backpack filled with bed sheets to prevent me from splattering all over the floor. What I found crazy about this is that some people genuinely get addicted to skydiving. Yes, you heard that right. You think chugging a monster on the daily is bad? Wait till you hear about Greg, who's itching to throw himself out of a plane every 3 days. How's that for a healthy heart rate? But on a real note, what really worries me is how much training actually goes on with these so-called pros. Like, if you're new to the game, they make you do two things. One of them being signing a contract that says, if I splatter on the floor like a gallon of paint, it's on me. But second and most importantly, they make you go through quote-unquote training, which is pretty much just a pep talk. They hit you with the, yeah, so don't freak out. If you're religious, you know, it's not guaranteed, but there's a chance you might meet Jesus today. I'm just saying. But seriously, I think you need more training to work at a Subway than you do to become a skydiving pro. I think the only reason why they're actually considered pros is because they made it out alive. The manager was like, oh shit, motherfucker ain't die? Alright, give him his pro badge. The day you come across one of these skydiving people, you're gonna pick it up, like, immediately. Some of you are probably wondering how. These motherfuckers walking around with a parachute and a helmet? And the answer is very, very simple actually. And that's because they'll straight up just tell you. Like, you don't even have to ask. You could be having a normal conversation and dude is gonna hit you with the, yeah man, I don't know, ever since I started skydiving, life it's just been different, you know? Meanwhile, you're sitting there confused because you just asked him if you wanted ice in his drink. And just like, after a certain degree, don't get me wrong, there's divers out there who've jumped hundreds of times. And even though I'm low-key clowning their ass, I have to admit it, I respect it. But then there's people out there who dive one time and then manage to somehow milk it more than a record label when a rapper dies. They start flexing stuff you didn't know could be flexed. Every now and then they try to sneak in a, yeah bro, look at this picture, it's me eating pizza while skydiving. And they're just sitting there like, well, I ate pizza on the couch last week and I can guarantee you that I was higher than you are in that picture. And you don't see me flexing it. And you know what's wild to me is that there's some people out there who are getting married while skydiving. Yeah, you heard that right. As you're watching this video, there's a couple in the sky who might get divorced as soon as they hit the ground. And you know, I usually don't like to point fingers, but I know these skydiving marriages were definitely like a lady's idea. Like, they looked at Britney's wedding and said, you know what? Fuck the guest, fuck the cake, fuck being on the ground. Greg, we're getting married in the sky. And Greg being Greg, he was like, okay. So congratulations to Greg, have fun paying child support up in the ozone layer. But anyways, on to the next one. Rooftop parkour. It's exactly what it sounds. If you've been on TikTok or Instagram recently, there's like a 99% chance that you've came across one of these videos. And regardless of where you are in the world, I know we all asked ourselves the same exact question. Why? Which is the right question to ask, because doing shit like this makes absolutely no sense. With skydiving, I mean, you get a cool little view before you meet your creator, but rooftop parkour? You're telling me you're gonna die next to the corporate department for Burger King? Which, saying it aloud, doesn't sound that bad. And it's like, all of these videos are the same. There's always that one dude in the comment section saying shit like, oh my god, zero fear. No bro, dude has 0 bills. When was the last time you saw Greg up there pretending he was Spider-Man? You don't know? Wanna know why? Exactly, because Greg has a mortgage, and when you owe the bank money, you best believe you're gonna stay grounded to the floor. The main difference between Greg and the rooftop parkour people is that Greg knows that if he falls, he's f***ed. shocked, because he's not getting a GoFundMe, he's getting a foreclosure instead. And all of that for what? Because bro slipped on pigeon shit? Absolutely not worth it. And you know what pisses me off a little bit is that they could have chosen literally anywhere else to do parkour in, but no, they decided to choose the place with most gravity. No safety gear, no real training, just running on prayers, a GoPro, and a craving for blurry Instagram pictures. They post captions like, "Up here there's freedom, living on the edge with no fear." Meanwhile, you're sitting on your couch, also free, also no fear. And if that wasn't as bad as it is, some of these people try to take it a step further by doing what, you may ask? Just jumping off the building, you know, normal shit. And it's crazy because these people looked at skydiving and rooftop parkour and thought to themselves, yo, I think I know what I'm gonna do today. But you know, if we're going off that logic, why don't we light ourselves on fire next? But anyway, on a scale of 1 to 10 on the stupid chart, this hobby gets a solid 6. And the only reason why it doesn't get a 7 like it truly deserves is because it has a cousin who's a menace. Alright, urban climbing. It sounds fancier than it is, I promise you that. Urban climbing is for those who looked at normal rock climbing, you know, normal people shit, and said, nah bro, I need me some lawsuits. And that right there was when this clip right here was created.
Yo, this dude is climbing the building.
I thought like once he gets up there, Mr. Beast would be there with $1 million minimum, just ready to go. Cause I couldn't imagine doing this shit for less, bro. Like, as I've come to find out, not only did dude climb that shit for free, he got a lawsuit. Better yet, guess who was waiting at the top? Steve Harvey. It was the cops. Yeah, he got arrested. That's it. My boy really out here risking his life for a mugshot. You know, that's dedication right there. We have to admire at least that. Alright, chat, so right off the rip, if it sounds like I'm dying, it's because I am. I'm sicker than a dog right now, but the hating must go on, okay? We can't pause this. But on some for real shit, did bro know there was an elevator inside? Like, call me crazy, but hey, all I'm gonna say is those 100 floors that took you 5 hours, yeah, I climbed them motherfuckers in 5 minutes. I didn't get banned, I didn't get any lawsuits, and even better, my hands didn't look like the top of a pencil eraser. Seriously, some people wreck their hands after doing shit like this. So if the lawsuits, the arrest, and more importantly, the fact that you're not making bread wasn't enough, you're gonna f up your hands too. For free. And I don't know, man, this urban climbing shit sounds like it doesn't have a good health insurance other than, you know, prayers. But on a scale of 1 to 10 on the stupid chart, this is a 9.9. Why a 9.9 and not a 10? Well, wait till we get to the last one and you're gonna see exactly why. Urban climbing looks cute compared to the last one, okay? That's all I'm gonna say. But anyway, on to the next one. You ever been to the pools and thought to yourself, damn, this water is perfect temperature, the sun is just right, but it would be way better if there was a layer of ice above me so that I couldn't get out of the water even if I wanted to. Oh, in the water? Get it to -10 degrees so I can get the hypothermia going. No, you haven't thought about that? Exactly, because you're a sane human being. But there's people out there who can't be classified as other than absolute freaks. And you best believe that they love this activity more than they do breathing. Now listen, in all reality, the pictures look kind of relaxing. Like this. Look at that blue ass water. This is the type of water you want to drink at 2 in the morning. But when motherfuckers start swimming in this liquid nitrogen, that's where we need to draw the line. And in case you're thinking, well, I shower with cold water, this doesn't look that bad. And you're right, it doesn't look that bad. So let me give you some good reasons as to why swimming on this water isn't a good idea. Look, I already said this, but I'm gonna say it again. The water is -10 degrees. I mean, there's literally chunks of ice swimming around you, bro. And get this, if you stay in the water for over 5 minutes, you don't get superpowers or the ability to communicate with penguins or anything cool like that. You know what you get? You get cold incapacitation instead. What's cold incapacitation, you may ask? Imagine this. You're swimming in this liquid nitrogen, just having a jolly old time. And then all of a sudden, your muscles go, hey, wait a goddamn minute. I'm working my ass off trying to stay warm. Meanwhile, this dumbass is swimming in -what degree water? Nah, you know what? Fuck you, you on your own. Douchebag. And next thing you know, you are drowning while being fully conscious.
How are you? I am under the water. Please help me. Here too much raining.
All of this because your muscles got way too cold to keep on functioning. Wow, so much fun. Here's another one. A lot of people do this because of the quote-unquote health benefits that it gives you, like hyperthermia and blue lips. Real talk though, if you jump into one of these beautiful death traps, it's very possible that if your ass is not prepared, which in all fairness, I wouldn't know how to prepare myself for shit like this either, the sudden immersion could spike your blood pressure. And you know what happens after that? You become immune to cold water as a whole. Like, it's crazy. Many people have reported to be totally immune to being cold whatsoever. Nah, I'm just playing. You get a heart attack and you fucking die. Personally, I find these offensive. If you really think about it, that's a huge middle finger to our ancestors. Imagine telling them you cut a hole in the middle of Antarctica just to jump in it. Oh, okay. It only took us thousands of years to discover fire so we don't freeze our asses off. But don't worry, Nathan, go jump into your frozen bacteria hole. But if you thought offending your ancestors wasn't bad enough, wait till you hear about the freaks who not only jump in the water, but they go under the ice. And I don't mean like, oh, I'm gonna dip my head under the ice, haha, I'm such a crackhead. No, I mean these folks cut out 2 holes 10 meters apart from one another and swim from hole to hole, because why not, right? Life is short, so let's just make it shorter, fuck it. Well, Jawlock, there has to be some sort of rope guiding the dive. Nope. No rope, no guide, just raw dogging the liquid nitrogen. Shit is so raw dogged that there isn't even light down there. Like, it's pitch black. Again, why do people do shit like this? Does this not sound like more of a punishment? Like, really think about it. Imagine sentencing someone to diving under a sheet of thick ice, and their only way to get their liberty back is by finding the other hole in the pitch black. Sounds like a up Squid Games challenge, no? But on a scale of 1 to absolute idiot, this one's a solid 5. And the only reason why it gets a 5 is because sometimes seals could pop up while you're freezing your ass off. Seals are pretty chill, you know what I mean? Before we go on to the next one, I'd like to say this next hobby genuinely pisses me off. I'd say people who microwave metal have more common sense than these people. You've heard of it, I've heard of it, and we both hate it. But you know who doesn't? People who are going through a midlife crisis. That's who. You know, cave diving really combined all of the worst parts within scuba diving. No light, tight spaces, and the cave is fucking flooded. You make one wrong move, and the next time your family's gonna see you is in a Netflix documentary. They pretty much looked at scuba diving, took all of the aspects to make scuba diving fun, like, you know, the fish, the coral, the sun. Instead, they replaced it with pitch black water and a maze designed by Satan himself. This hobby is so down bad that I truly believe it's a social experiment. You know, just to speed up natural selection. Like, bro, you're telling me not only am I balls deep into the ocean, but I can't pop straight up if I wanted to? I don't know, man, you can call me crazy, but a jigsaw trap sounds more comforting than whatever this is. Even then, let's say you've been preparing for months just for this exact moment. I'm talking planned routes, a good guide, expensive equipment, and next thing you know, that $4,000 mask you bought starts giving up on you. GG's, big fella, there ain't shit you can do about it. And you know, some of these spots are so incredibly tight that there's still a lot of unrecovered bodies in most of these caves. Now, yeah, granted, some of these divers do bring extra equipment, you know, just in case the first 3 oxygen tanks fail. Now, I don't know about all of you, but I think if you need a backup plan to your backup plan for your backup plan, then it might be better for you to go touch some grass instead. Seriously, man, people often do this shit for the thrill of it. Like, dude, just play Minecraft or something. I don't know. I believe that if the best part of a hobby is to get out alive, then I'm sorry to inform you, but that's not a hobby. I mean, dude, there's literally signs saying, if you go past this section, you're gonna meet your creator. But that don't stop no one. Again, natural selection. That or they can't read. Which, I mean, I don't blame them. Because when you're that deep into the ocean, I doubt you even saw the sign. But let's say you manage to enter and exit the single most outrageous cave imaginable called Satan's Urethra. Now what? All you gotta do is go up to the surface and tell your buddies about all the things you couldn't see, right? Wrong. Let me introduce you to decompression sickness. What's decompression sickness, you may ask? It's pretty much when your body absorbs nitrogen from your air tank. If you go up to the surface too fast, then bubbles start to form within your body. You heard that right. Think about it like when you shake a soda and then open it. What's gonna happen? It explodes, of course. And that's exactly what's happening, except it's inside of your body. But instead of exploding, your body starts to act up. It just starts doing silly shit like blocking blood flow to your brain, damaging your spinal cord. You know, you may start coughing up blood. Oh, and I forgot, it also turns your joints into bubble wrap. Doesn't that just sound fun? Six Flags, let's go fill our body up with killer nitrogen bubbles. For the thrill of it. But if that wasn't enough to convince you that cave diving was created to speed up natural selection, then we're gonna speed run 3 more side effects. Number 1, oxygen toxicity. What's that? Oh, nothing. It's just when, you know, your own oxygen decides to betray you and give you a seizure mid-cave. You know, no biggie. Except it is a biggie, because guess what happens then? Say it with me, kids. You drown. 2, hyperthermia. Yep, if ice swimming wasn't cold enough, there's caves out here that even though they are in warm countries, these caves are colder than the Queen of England. You see, most of these cave diving expeditions are pretty much multi-hour dives. So what happens? Your core temperature starts to drop, you start to get a little bit confused and a little tired, and next thing you know, well, you don't, because you pass out. Yep. Yup, not even your ears are safe. You know when you're taking off in a plane and you feel your ears popping? Yeah, well the same thing happens if you go deep into the ocean. It's not uncommon for divers to pop their eardrums while they're down there. You see how there's all of these side effects and none of them are positive? None of them. None of them is like, oh well, after the nitrogen leaves your lungs, you can now speak to fish or whatever.
Hey yo.
No, it's either you come out deaf, you turn into a human soda, or you don't come out at all. That's cave diving for you. Doesn't that sound peaceful? But anyways, chat, that's gonna be the end of the list. I could go on, but if I do, I'm gonna end up crashing out. So in conclusion, stay on the ground. We got no business being in the sky.
Gas pack, bad bitch, ass fat. Getting money fever, I don't think you niggas have